Hello everybody, my name is Steven. Today we shall be looking at scalping. How do we scalp our trading? How do we actually take trade by using scalping? And if you are a trader and you want to scalp, there are different ways that we scalp. But one of the ways I use in scalping my own trading is I use 1 minute chart to scalp, because this 1 minute chart make it very easy for me to get multiple trade in a day. So that's why basically I use my 1 minute chart for trade. So without further ado, let's go straight into the chart and see how we use 1 minute for scalping and how we get multiple trade every day. Now this is 1 hour chart. Like I have told you that I am using 240 moving average to get the overall direction, and this enabled me to see the market in two directions. That is, I was able to see the market where there is a break, and also I was able to see the market where there is a cross. So these are what I am looking at. Now if you look at 1 hour chart from here, you will agree with me that from this very place there is a cross of this candle, that this very candle cross to this area. This candle cross below the 240 moving average. Now, like I've explained to you in my previous lesson, in my previous video, that 240 moving average is one of the powerful indicators that I use, that most time when it is broken, it signifies a powerful direction. Now if you look at this place, now when the prices break this 240 moving average, what happened is there is a run down to support 1, there's a run down to support 2, and this do what? It makes at support 2 the price retrace back to an uptrend. Now the reason why I don't choose this, because this was a breakout that happened on Wednesday. I choose because this is as a result of news that came out of New York. So I don't want to choose this rundown because it's so pronounced. But I want to come up that in a situation whereby you will find this situation most of the time while you are trading. This situation is it makes trader to lose a lot of money. That's why I'm coming up with this. Now if you want to trade this is what you have to do. Number one, you have to spot what? You have to spot the engulfing pattern. That is, you have to spot the candle that cross from here, and this is the candle that we are looking at. Now I'm going to place my vertical line, which is this red line. I'm going to paste it on this place for me to identify that this is the candle that cross. Now once I've been able to identify this area, what do? I need to move down to my 1 minute chart to be able to get a proper entry. Here is my 1 minute chart. If you look at this place now, this is what we have from 1 minute. Immediately look at the candle when it engulfed, and then when the candle break in 1 hour, this is what we have in 1 minute. Immediately the prices cross below the 240 moving average. Immediately cross below the 240 moving average in 1 minute. This is telling you that we are in for a bigger move, in as much there's a cross in 1 hour. Now if you look at this place now, when it cross, look at the way the price run down. The prices run down to this place. Now because it's 1 minute, once it has crossed, what I will need to do is to do what? Is to wait for the move to run down from here. Now this basically will give me about 30 pips or 40 pips from here. So this is how you have to see the way you want to enter, because if you enter from when the prices are not broken, you understand, that means you are taking a risk. You are taking a risk because you must wait until you have a cross of the 240 moving average. Once the prices cross the 240 moving average, what do we have? We have a run down to this day. Then you have to check from various time frame. Let's go back to 5 minutes and see what happened in 5 minutes. Look at 5 minutes from here. When the prices cross from here, do you see what happened? The market continue to do what? The prices continue to run down. Look at the way the prices run down to this place. So what you need to wait for while trading is for you to identify your engulfing pattern in 1 hour and also see other time frame if they are probably engulfed. So once this has been done, what you need to do is to wait. Now, another major thing that make it very, very important, that give you quick entry most of the time when you are trading this system, is that you must allow your stochastic to do what? To cross all before you enter the trade. If you look at this place, this very area, you will agree with me that when it cross all, when the stochastic cross up, then what do we have? We have a rundown, and this is 5 minutes. Now, another point that I need to stress is that whenever we have the stochastic of 1 minute and that of 5 minutes speaking the same thing, and while we have an engulfing pattern in 1 hour, it is telling you that it's going to be an heavy move. And this is exactly what happened at this place. If you look at this place, this very area, immediately the stochastic of 1 hour and immediately the stochastic of 1 minute and 5 minutes run down. Look at the heavy move that we have from here. So this is how you will scalp. This is how you look at the scalp. But before you can do that, you must get a proper engulfing pattern in 1 hour. And this is exactly what we have here. Look at the engulfing pattern from here. Immediately it crosses, immediately the prices cross to the downside. What do we have? We have a very serious rundown, and this serious rundown will not have happened if there are no engulfing pattern, if there are no crossing of the 240 moving average. So during the time of day when you are trading, once you see this, what you need to do is to move down to a lower time frame, go back to 5 minutes, see what the 5 minutes is doing. It has 5 minutes crossed. Yes, if it has crossed, then you need to, that is not your entry. You go back to what again? You go back to your 1 minute. Your 1 minute will give you a very serious entry. Will give you a very good entry, because 1 minute must have filtered out what? Must have filtered out the noise from the charts. All the noise must have been taken care before crossing. Now, immediately the 1 minute cross, what do we have from here? And now if we move back to this place, now this is what we are having in 5 minutes, because 5 minutes is crossing, is going up. Immediately both of them speak the same thing, that they start crossing down. Look at the heavy move from here. Do you see that? This is what we have from here. So while you are trading this, you need to continue to wait for an entry. Immediately you got a crossing or probably an engulfing pattern in 5 minutes, what you need to be waiting for is for you to wait for the stochastic of 1 hour, of 1 minute and 5 minutes to speak the same thing. Once they speak the same thing along the line, then you continue to get multiple entry, and that is how you do the scalping. Now look at it from here. Let's take, for example, let's take a normal chart from here. Let's look at it from here. This is what happened recently. Now if you look at this place, this is an engulfing pattern. Look at it. This is the candle that engulf from here. This is the candle that engulf from here. Taking this trade will be as simple as ABC. Why? Because we got an engulfing pattern that from here. And now let me draw a line from here for you to know that this is the candle that engulf. This very candle is the candle that engulf. So look at it from here. So we have identified this candle as the candle that engulf in 1 hour. Now we have to move back to a shorter time frame. Let's see whether we are going to have the same engulfing pattern in 30 minutes. Now if you look at 30 minutes from here, we got the engulfing pattern at the same spot that we have in 1 hour. So this is telling us that we have to move down to 1 minute and 5 minutes to begin to get an entry. Now if I'm moving down, let's get what is happening in 15 minutes too. From 15 minutes also, we got an engulfing pattern from here. Now we must take this trade. We must take all this area. We must take it. We must take a trade from here. So for us to do this, we move down to what? We move down to a shorter time frame. Now let's look at what 1 minute is. 5 minutes is saying before we move down to 1 minute. Now if you look at my 5 minute, 5 minutes has already crossed, whereas in 1 hour there is no crossing of the 240 moving average. And if you go back to 30 minutes again, there is no crossing of 240 moving average. And also in 15 minutes there are no crossing of 240 moving average, but there are cross of 240 moving average in 5 minutes. Look at it from here. We have 5 minutes has crossed for a long time. Look at where 5 minutes has crossed. 5 minutes has crossed from this very place. This is where we have crossing, but this crossing is not yet pronounced because we have not got crossing in a bigger time frame. And this is where we have very strong crossing from a bigger time frame. This is where we are having the crossing from here. 5 minutes has crossed. Now because we want to take a trade that will not go into loss, we want to take a trade that will keep giving us money within 2 to 5 minutes. That is the essence of scalping. Then we move down to what? We move down to our 1 minute. And while we are moving down to 1 minute, we must take into cognizance the noise from where? From the chart. That is why I am moving the chart from here, because I want to filter out the noise. Now I have to move my candle, my console, to where I have a cross. Look at it from here. This is where I have a cross in 1 minute. Look at the crossing from 1 minute from here. Now if I want to take this trade now, I must have taken this trade. This 1 minute has given me my signal for a very long time. Now this is where I have my signal in 1 minute. Let me bring down this place for us to be able to follow it up. Now this is where we have our signal in 1 minute, because this is where we have a cross. But when it crosses from here, look at the crossing from here, we need to wait for what? We need to wait for a retest. Now this is a retest. Now at this retest fail, which is here, it fail. So once the prices touches this 240 moving average and it could not move again, it signifies weakness of the bear. It signifies that the bearish market does not have power to move. The bear does not have power to move. So it's telling us that there is going to be what? There is going to be a run up of the prices. And look at what happened from here. Do you see that? Do you see what happened from here? So taking an entry from 1 minute when you are scalping during time of day is very, very important. Now let's look at the noise. Let's look at the noise. These are noise. You don't take a trade from here, because this is going to give you a lot of problem. Because if you take a trade from here, why 1 hour has crossed, why there is an engulfing pattern in 1 hour. Now let's take back. Let's look at this. Let's look at our. Let me take this horizontal line to this place for you to know that even this area is an area that 1 minute, that 1 hour has crossed. But because it has crossed, but there are no crossing in 1 minute. Because if you look at this place in 1 hour, I have to draw a very serious vertical line for you to be able to identify the move. Look at it from here. These two areas, let me draw a box for you to know for you to understand what I'm saying. From here to here is what I regard as noise. Now, if I move back to 1 hour, you will agree with me that at this point, the prices in 1 hour have engulfed. Now let's move that to 1 hour. Let's see what happened in 1 hour. Look at it from here. Do you see that? Do you see from here now? We also have this move. This move. If you look at it from here now, let me take it a little bit out from here. Look at it. So that I want you to consider it very well. Look at it from here. From here, this is where we are having a bullish candle fighting. But if you look at it critically, you will understand that there is an engulfing pattern already at this point. Now let me take this is the candle we are looking to engulf. It is this very candle, and this is exactly where this candle engulf. This is where it engulf, and yet I'm having, if I should come back to 1 minute, you will agree with me that that area, there are still some noise at that point which need to be filtered out. Now let's go back to 1 minute. You will discover this with me, that now I'm still moving to 1 minute. You will agree with me, there are still some noise that need to be filtered out before we get a proper entry. So that is why I'm telling you that 1 minute is one of the best way of taking a trade during time of day. Look at it from here. Are you seeing that now? You see the move from here, that until when this area was filtered out from the market, until when all this area was filtered out, that when you got an engulfing pattern in 1 hour, the engulfing pattern is not enough for you to take a trade. Now you must allow your 240 moving average to cross, thereby doing what? Filtering all the noise out of the market. Now filtering all the noise out of the market. So this is a very good way of doing what? Of scalping. So immediately you see this kind of move from here, that this move continue to go up, and there's a retest from here, because immediately it goes up, the price will come back again to retest. Now once they come back, they fail. It shows that this is a very strong move. Once it come back and fail, which eventually they did from here, look at it from here, they come back and retest and they fail. After that, look at the move continue to do what? Continue to move very seriously. Are you seeing the move from here? It continue to move so seriously. So this is telling you that you need to wait for this area. You need to wait for this area, for this very area to be filtered out, which is regarded as noise. Once you can wait for this place to be filtered out, that is regarded as noise, then you will have a decent entry. Immediately you coming from here, even if you coming from here, you will do what? You will still be in money. When the prices got from this place, look at the way the 240 moving average goes. Look at the way it goes. It does not come back to your entry. So if you move from here, you'll be in money from here. Look at it, you'll be in money. Look at the way it's going. Are you seeing the move now? Look at the way you see that the 240 moving average is in ascending manner. Look at it, it's in ascending way, it's ascending, it's moving up, it's not descending, it's ascending up. So that is a very good way of entry. Now if you are a scalper and you want to keep scalping, what you need to do now is for you to begin to make money. If you cannot wait for this run, maybe you see you are happy trigger, that you are happy to take your profit. Now what you need to do, once you see a cross of this nature, what you need to do is to move down to 5 minutes and continue to see how the stochastic of 5 minutes and 1 minute is operating. Now let's look at it from here for us to get a good entry. Now let me put another horizontal line around this place that we have here. So I'm putting an horizontal line around that place. So I want to go back for us to see. So I'm still going back. Very good. This is where now I'm taking this to the extreme. Let's take this to the extreme. Now this is where I drew my line. This is where I drew my vertical line from here. Look at the vertical line from here. Now this vertical line, if you look at it from 1 minute, now immediately this, if you look at this area, is the area that was descending. Now immediately the 240 moving average, immediately the prices turn. Look at what happened. The stochastic of what? Of 1 minute and that of 5 minutes speak the same thing. Immediately they speak the same thing. What do we have from here? We have a very serious run up. Immediately they speak the same thing, we have a very serious run up. And the same thing happened from here. If you check from here, You also check in 1 minute. Once they speak the same thing, we will always have a run up. But if they don't speak the same thing, there will be no reason for you to begin to scalp. Just wait. So this is one of the best way of taking a trade in 1 minute. There are no two ways about it. You need to wait and get an entry. After you get the entry, make sure there's an engulfing pattern in 1 hour. There's an engulfing pattern in 4 hours. In 4 hours, there's an engulfing pattern in 30 minutes. There's a cross in 15 minutes and 5 minutes. Then go back to one minute and start looking for a trade. If there's any change between 5 minutes stochastic and 1 minute stochastic, then you wait. Then if you see the same thing, that okay, 5 minutes and 1 minute stochastic is speaking the same thing, like what we have here, they are speaking the same thing from here, then you take a trade. So that is just the simple way of scalping. So I believe with this with this video, we appreciate how to make an entry using 1 minute, how to scalp using 1 minute. So I want you to subscribe to this video so that when I release another video, you will understand what you mean by scalping. You understand what you mean by trading. So subscribe, like this video, so that when I release another video, you'll be the first person that will be notified. So I wish you good luck while you are trading. Thank you.